All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I'm going to look at 3 of them today. Thursday is always my busiest day, so I am doing a video during live hours. You're going to see the percents move. You're going to see the candles go up and down. There's a little less than 50 minutes left in the trading day, all right? But you can see we'll start with BNED. I want to get into Reddit after, and then KULR is one I haven't covered in a while, but it's kind of at an interesting place right now, all right? So this BNED chart is a really interesting one, all right? And I have a baseline rule, and my baseline rule is reverse splits are death. Okay, I don't care if it's a 1 for 1, 1 for 100, 1 for a billion, right? Reverse splits are never a good thing. That said, there's some interesting stuff going on here, and I think if you have your finger on the mouse tomorrow, it could be a good move. Otherwise, I personally believe longer term, this is not going to do well at all right? When I get to Reddit's at an interesting place. Reddit is a very new stock. We only have 3 moving averages. We're a long way away from the 100 moving average starting, and my, we're over the biggest candle to the left. We're over all the moving averages. There's some interesting stuff here, and I think it's well worth looking at. And then KULR. So I covered this one a while ago. I covered it on that run, basically. I'm never here to fall in love with a stock. I know a lot of people have a lot of good passion on this one, right? To me, this is just 4 random letters, and hey, these 4 random letters are starting to do just a little bit better across these 5 lines, right? So I think it's well worth a look, all right? But before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are none, right? Because this used to be a much lower stock and everything has come up. So all my lines are significantly lower right now, right? But I will draw some horizontal support and resistance lines. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here and giving me your time is super appreciated, all right? So BNED, this is a really interesting chart right here because right off the bat, it screams to me not a lot of good, but man, there might be a very interesting short-term move that could happen here, all right? If you watch my videos, you know I never say buy, I never say sell, I never say hold, right? So I'm just here giving you my thoughts and opinions, and yeah, like I said, there's a lot of interesting things happening here, all right? So let's start up here, and I have to start with the reverse split, right? I said it earlier, I'm going to say it again. In my book, right, like my trading strategy book, right, there is no book, obviously, but in my head, reverse splits are always death. A forward split is lovely, right? NVIDIA just did a 10-to-1 forward split, right? Forward splits are good. BNED reverse split, no. All right, so just general rule. All right, and remember, I'm here looking for a long-term strategy that's going to help me win across my long-term trading career, right? So have to stress that. That said, there's moments when, hey, we might be breaking rules because maybe there's something set up, all right? And I would go into this very skeptical, but hey, if it's there, you gotta hit it, right? And what am I looking at? Look, let's just zoom out, right? If we just did a reverse split and we just did it from all-time lows, you have to know that there's absolutely, let me go to the weekly, right? There is absolutely nothing. There's nothing in this area down here, right? So the potential for this trade is basically red, green. And maybe there's a chance we're going to come up to this 8 moving average that's sitting at 20 bucks. All right. Maybe. Okay. I personally am not the biggest believer of that, but man, again, I say it on every video, red is a very easy green, right? I think the key for tomorrow will be volume. All right. And normally when I talk on my videos on volume, I kind of look at yesterday and then I look at today, right? I am actually ignoring every single one of these and I'm starting at this one. All right. This was a dump of a dump of a sell of a sell. This right here was lose all five and die, right? We lost all five moving averages and we just spiraled down, right? It's easy to expect volume to rise when that happens. What I'm looking at is the last good green day. This volume was 105,000. All right. We're looking at 5 million and there's still another 45 minutes left, right? So we went, what? 5x, 50x. We basically 50x that 100K to this 5 million, right? And oh man, that just smells like a pump and dump to me. All right. What would I be expecting? Look, I think if we can maybe open around 10 bucks, I think I'd start to believe it might even be worth waiting till 1050, 1060. Roughly speaking, that's 50% of that first red candle, right? Maybe the second place I would expect a little bit of a calm down is the 750. Ooh, dyslexic, 1575. But again, red could come to the green. And I talk about that often. You fall away from the 8, you come to the 8. But look, this one didn't really do like an up. This one just kind of stayed horizontal before it caught up, right? Goes down, comes up again, kind of waits on the horizontal. Make sure you have your finger on the mouse if you play this. I would definitely be expecting at least the same amount of volume. All right, so I'm gonna actually raise it to 6 million. Give me 20% more. If I'm looking for 6 million shares in a 7-hour day, we need as close to 1 million as we can get, right? So I didn't even need the calculator for that one actually, but I think volume is going to be key because again, I'm not looking at an increase from 2.5 to 5. No, I'm looking at a dump, reverse split. Now let's see what it does. Okay. The last interesting thing I want to talk about is the doji candle and the day after. That's something I talk about very, very often on my videos. The day after the doji is very telling, and the day after the doji sometimes will let you know what the truth is, right? And yeah, that's a doji and that's a decent candle right there, right? So it's oh man, there's a little part of me that feels like there's maybe a realistic chance of coming to this bottom line at like 1340, right where this Monday opened. Personally, I would not trade this, right? I also physically can't. Like, I'm lazy and I don't wake up at market open. I also have a job and sometimes I'm in meetings and I like literally can't have my finger on the mouse and I might watch a stock dump while I'm in a meeting and I have to watch it. I'm like, oh, it's horrible. So make sure you have a plan here. I for sure see the potential. Again, I think the high numbers are 20 at the max. I think this 1575, 1550, let's say 1550, I just threw out the 1350. And then again, I think I would wait for like 1050, 1060. That's at least over the wick of today at 1040, assuming we don't make a silly run in the next 40 minutes, right? What does the 30 minute look like? Give me a sec. Let's see what this day might end like. Oh, that's not a bad 30 minutes setting up. There's actually a chance we make a run to 10 here. What's your 15 minute at? Oh man. I think there's a decent shot that this goes to 10 or 1020. Interesting. Ooh. All right, let's see what happens here. Man, this is an interesting one. I will easily say this. If we start to lose like 820, I think if we're starting to come into 815, 810, close to 8, I would be very scared because from there, this is looking at all-time lows, right? This is under all 5 moving averages. Reverse split is death. If we lose 8, if we start to lose that 815, I would get scared. All right. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your, I am not looking at the weekly. This is a daily chart situation. And realistically, it's probably in the lower time frames. Excuse me, hiccup there more than anything. Let me know your thoughts, please, and let's move on. What was the next one? Reddit. RDDT, not RDTY, pudgy fingers. Really quickly, please, if you can subscribe to this channel, if you can share this video, it does wonders with the algorithms. Reddit, there's a lot to like right here. I think there really is, all right? This is also a cool, okay, a couple thoughts are in my head. Let me take a pause and I have mentioned that I know this is not me, but I know traders that they will not put a single penny in an IPO until roughly maybe even here, maybe at this point right here, at the minimum, not until they have an 8 and a 20. All right, because look, right when this thing IPOs, you literally have no MACD, you literally have no RSI, you actually have no moving averages, right? On the 8th day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the 8th day, you get the 8 moving average. On the 20th day, you get the 20 moving average. On the 14th day, you get the first RSI. After 5 days of the RSI, you'll get the average of that, right? Same thing here. You have to wait till the 26th day to get that dot right there, right? So again, some people, and you got to remember, this right here is just our chart reader stack. I have a couple other things in the 1 and the 2. And again, some people will wait for those like important indicators to make a move, all right? We've now come to I would call it a healthy place in terms of timing. We have a very, very well-established 8, a very, very well-established 20, and a brand new 50. All right. So look, like literally this day right here is the 50th. We are so far away from that 100th day. In my head, I know that 100 moving average will not come for a long, at least weeks from here, if not months, right? Like I'm not trying to do some bad math in my head, but look, 2 months is 60 days. That does not look like 40 days to me, right? So we're probably talking about almost 3 months before the 100th day comes, right? We are over all 3 moving averages, and that's the equivalent of being over all 5. We have green over red on the MACD and the RSI. MACD is positive, RSI is a real healthy 65. And then look, we now also have the 50-day volume. All right, this thing obviously did some silly things in the beginning, right? It went from 50 all the way to what, almost 100? No, 75. But yeah, look, that's a 50% run in 3-4 days, right? Big volumes. We're now kind of seeing what normal looks like. We're actually very close to the 50-day line. I think it's going to come down over the next couple days. As long as we hold the moving averages, and really, as long as we hold the first IPO pop, oh man, this thing might hit all-time highs and run. Remember, I hate all-time lows. All-time lows is that black hole vortex that just eats your well-earned, hard-earned money, right? All-time highs is a beautiful Los Angeles blue sky with nothing to worry about. You just go to the beach and enjoy, right? So I think another good line could be here. I think that's a line worth drawing. I think as long as we stay over that 63.40 roughly, I think things will be good. As long as we're over the 60 line in general, we'll be good. Because, hey, you know I'm okay losing the 8 as long as we hold the 20. This thing is doing a real nice job of bouncing on the 8, losing it quickly, coming back. RSI got really high, got to an 83. Makes sense you're going to lose it. I'm glad that like this stock is doing well with the indicators we got. And hey, we definitely got more than nothing, and that's not a bad thing, right? So I'm liking this. I'm just hoping that look, I'm not going to draw the line. I'm going to delete this thing. If we break this candle, right, I don't physically need to get this high for me to think all-time highs. I don't need to get, like, this is an insignificant nothing of a candle, right? If this breaks 65.90-ish, oh yeah, I'm thinking all-time highs from there, right? So I'm going to delete that line. I think it's a little, let's look at the weekly. What's the weekly telling us? So good weekly. All we are doing is bouncing on the 8 moving average. We so far have confirmed look, it's a little interesting that these two didn't fly from here, in all honesty, all right? I think the fact that we have no indicators here might have been it. Like, for all I know, we got too high on the RSI. I have no idea, right? There's no indicators. Even on the 1 and the 2, I'm gonna have no indicators here, right? So Yeah, I think maybe it just got a little too high, had a little bit of a recovery. I would call that a healthy recovery because the 8 moving average caught it and bounced it, right? This is seemingly confirming that. And hey, we might have a great next week coming, right? So Reddit, I think there's a lot to like. And I would say it again, I think this is a healthy way of trading an IPO. Believe me, I've seen the IPOs that run, and hey, who cares about the lines? Just run with it, right? But again, if you're looking for there is no such thing as safe in the trading, in stock trading, right? But this is a slightly less riskier way because you just have more lines and more indicators and more educated ways of making an expectation for tomorrow. And hey, that's all we're here for, right? So let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions, even if you disagree. The last one I wanted to do was KULR or KULR? Hold on. KULR. I swear, yesterday I made a video on KULR, and in my head I thought KULR was KULR. It's actually a little embarrassing, and I think I made that joke yesterday. Yeah, I thought KULR was KULR. Oh, goodness. Let me look at these GTVH. Let's look at it real quick. GTVH. Oh, that's good volume. That's overall the 5 moving averages. Ooh, that used to be shady trading. That's a small penny, but that's an interesting ticker. That's not what this video is for. That's why I love the Discord, though. What were we looking at? We were looking at KULR. All right, so let's take a quick second, because last time I covered KULR, we actually got into the fundamentals of this stock a little bit. And I'm going to say one general comment, and then I'll get back into KULR specific. Look, I personally do my very best to not fall in love with a stock. All right, whether it's a blue chip amazing one or if it's a smaller penny stock or anything in between. My viewpoint is if you look at a stock as a random 3 to 5 letters, it's a little easier to sell than when you fall in love. Because believe me, I have had tickers that I love like they were my children, and all they did was just take my money, kind of like children, right? So again, to me, lines and breaking lines, losing lines, I think it's easier to attack when it's just a random letter. KULR is an interesting set of 4 letters, all right? KULR Technology Group seems like they are very well connected to some very, very big companies. Ah, man, it's going to take, there's literally 480 discussions about KULR. I probably have to go to like the very first one. Let's go to 19. There's one specific screenshot I'm looking for. I haven't shown this thing in a long time. 18. Boom. All right, we used to talk about this screenshot. KULR has connections to SpaceX and Blue Origin. Those are probably the only 2 that actually matter. You know, the third one is actually the US government. This thing has these deep pockets that it's connected to, and that's a really, really hard sentence for most 38-cent stocks to say. All right. The technology seems interesting. I personally love tech. I love AI. I believe in technology, right? Like if I was going to go long in something, it would be something in tech. I've always said that, right? I find it funny that people look at the S&P 500 more. NASDAQ and QQQ is what I care about, right? But regardless, KULR is a very, very interesting set of 4 letters. It really is. But 2 things happened here. Number 1, earnings happened here. All right. Earnings is always a crazy, crazy gamble. I think some people will say it's a harder gamble for like the lower penny stocks. To me, it's, hey, an alert is going to happen because we're in live trading hours. There is no immediate buy notification when I see an alert, right? And obviously I'm making a video. I'm not even reacting to that thing. Earnings did not do this thing well, and all of a sudden we started to lose the 8, lose the 20, lose the 200, lose the 50, and we made our way down to the very last moving average. And it's an interesting couple days because I always talk about confirmation up, and confirmation down matters just as much. Look, that's not a good candle. That's not a good candle. That's a little, that's arguably a decent candle, but again, when you're talking about losing all 5 moving averages, I'm expecting a big candle. That was the first big, bad, scary red candle under all 5 moving averages. The next one was going to dictate if we lost it and green, green, green went to red, 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 or what we see here. And look, this is an interesting 4 days, all right? It's easy to say that, but there are too many moving averages right here. All right. Sometimes you go to the very top, you come to the bottom, you just literally go in this little tornado of up and down when there's too many lines. All right. The other argument is, hey, we've taken these 4 and we want to come all the way up here to the 5th one around 45 cents. Roughly speaking, that's a little bit more of a 20% move right there. So that's not bad. And we actually have a little bit of a baby gap, right? It's nothing huge, but again, that's pretty much the gap from this green right here to yeah, more than half of that thing right there, about half of it, right? So there's a nice gap in a nice channel between most of the moving averages and the last one, right? I've had this line for a while. I really don't remember the last time I came and looked at KULR. If this can break 47, that's where the real money is. That's where green, 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 red, red, red might be a real nice, more than 50% green, 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 right? So don't assume we're going to break the 50. Don't assume that, right? Because it's hard. And look, don't forget this little run right here. And I'm kind of saying it not in a good way. We got over them all, but we never were able to confirm. And obviously we gave up too much, right? We don't just want to get over the lines. We got to confirm, all right? It is crucial that we confirm. Look, there's 30 minutes left. Let's see what the last 15 minutes look like. Let's see what the 30-minute looks like. Neither is bad, but yeah, volume is low. Only 600 shares have been traded in the last 30 minutes. That's 100 shares is $300 to $400, right? So volume is a little low here. I think at this point, people are probably going to be waiting till tomorrow. Let's talk about the lower indicators real quick, all right? That's a good green over red. That's a good green over red. We are getting close to the 0 line, and I like it when we go up, come down, barely lose it, and hopefully get back up quickly. We got to get back up quickly, and making that run to the 50 moving average would get us there, right? Super healthy 54. Man, the RSI ran crazy high, 89, 89, 88. Like this thing was up there, right? So there's a lot of room. And hey, look, we had some crazy volume that brought the 50-day line too high. As we get rid of all those crazy ones, volume's starting to come back to reality, and we can kind of hold that 2 million, right? Last thing, we used to be at 400K. We used to be at like 1.5. We're now at least holding 3-ish and higher, right? 2.6-ish, right? So volume's good. Volume's obviously not what it was during this run, but volume did improve. There was, I think, good awareness that came from that little run. Let's just see if it can break all the moving averages and make a better confirmation and run. For me, I would wait personally for 47 to break. Again, a real nice 20% move from down here to up here, right? A little bit weird on those lower lines, but again, I think that's just a volume thing. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinion. I'll look at the weekly. Hold on. Let's look at the weekly real quick. That's an interesting weekly because, again, I think it's the same comments from the daily. Instead of confirming the loss of all 5, we've made a decent recovery today. Confirmation, man. Like this is about confirmation. What's that line right there? 43. Where's 43? Oh, I think that's pretty much yeah, it's just on. Yeah, no. I like it. I like this. Maybe if in a couple days we don't break this 50, I would lower that 47 a little bit. Because again, the weekly is actually telling me, yeah, 43, 44 might be the better number. And hey, maybe that's a way to get in with a little bit of a 10% buffer right there. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Even if you disagree, hey, thank you so much.